The hardest time that we've had here was during COVID. Tenants stopped paying rent. We were in default of all our loans. So if a loan says you have to have revenues on a quarterly basis above a certain expense, because there were no revenues, we were in technical default. When I think of hard times, it can come from different areas. One of them is a rise of interest rates. So real estate investment is interest rate dependent. And if you're investing during a time period of rising interest rates, it makes it very tricky because rising interest rates hurt real estate values. Second, rising construction costs. Part of creating value in the shopping center sector is leasing to new tenants. And when you lease to new tenants, you've got to do their tenant improvement package, the landlord work. And that's dealing with construction. It could be air conditioning equipment, electrical equipment, flooring, lighting, whatever it is, storefront, facade, etc. And if costs are rising, it makes it harder to make a deal. Third, if retailers slow down. So if there's a recession and retailers who said to Wall Street, I was going to open up 100 stores a year, now they stop expanding, and that sometimes happens in a recession. That hurts your ability to absorb vacant space with new tenants. And so those are definitely some stress points. Other stress points that could occur in an asset is net operating income could fall. That's because either revenues are falling or it's because expenses, insurance, for example, are rising. So if revenues are steady, expenses are rising, your net operating income falls. That's a stress point in an asset. If revenue is falling and expenses rise, that's a double whammy. So during COVID, basically the centers weren't allowed to open because of you couldn't have people show up in public. And when tenants stop paying rent, you don't have income to pay your debt. So this was by far the most challenging time for us. We had to renegotiate 550 leases in 60 days. Normally we're negotiating 5 leases at a time. Now 550 at once. The whole company was involved in renegotiating leases. Number two, we were in default of all our loans. So if a loan says you have to have revenues on a quarterly basis above a certain expense, because there were no revenues, we were in technical default. Now they were waived, but you had to have discussions with all of your different lenders, and you had to document the waiving of certain provisions because of effectively a force majeure type of provisions when everything was shut down during COVID. Dealing with tough times, you have to buckle down, okay? Buckle down means you have to be gritty, you have to focus on expenses, you have to focus on priorities, you've got to make sure that the team is focused on dealing with the most important things first and quickly. You've got to look at challenges for the physical part of the property, challenges with leasing, challenges with expenses, challenges with interest rates, challenges with the overall economy. And then you've got to figure out, how do I solve a problem? How do I solve many problems? And you have to do it simultaneously. You have to work hard. You have to grind it out. You have to focus on cash flow, revenues minus expenses, and all of the pressure points that affect both revenue and expenses. Keep your cool, gotta breathe, gotta bring it every day. You've gotta live by the rock steps. The rock steps are built to handle challenging times. Gotta live by those rock steps.